contrary to Section 26(3)(a) of the Public Procurement and Disposal Act 2005. Henry Kiplagat Rotich, true or not true? Not true. Kamau Duge, Susan Jemtai, David Kitumba, that's it. Count number 5. Henry Kiplagat Rotich, you have been charged with abuse of office, contrary to Section 46, Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. And the particular of the offense is that on 18 April 2017, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit to CMC D. Ravenna Itinera, joint venture by unlawfully executing a facility agreement for the funding of the development and of the Kimwarel multipurpose dam, thereby conferring them contractual rights and benefits against the government of Kenya. Henry Kiplagat Rotich, true or not true? Not true. Count number 6. Henry Kiplagat Rotich, you have been charged with abuse of office, contrary to Section 46, Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. And the particulars of the offense is that on 18 April 2017, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit to CMC D. Ravenna Itinera joint venture and the parties involved by unlawfully executing a facility agreement for the funding of the development of the Kimwarel multipurpose dam, thereby creating an obligation against the government of Kenya to pay a sum of $224,422,163.93, which amount is the total contractual sum of the development of the Kimwarel multipurpose dam. True or not true? Henry Kiplagat Rotich, count number 5. You have been charged with abuse of office, contrary to Section 46, Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and the count number 7. Henry Kiplagat Rotich, you have been charged with abuse of office, contrary to Section 46, Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crime Act number 3 of 2003. And the particulars of the offense is that between 18 April 2017 and 6 November 2018, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit of €42,088,198.65 to SACE SPA, Associata per Azioni Insurance, contrary to Section 68(1)(a) and B of the Public Finance Management Act number 18 of 2012, being insurance premium payment expended unlawfully. True or not true? Count number 8. Kamau Duge, you have been charged with abuse of office, contrary to Section 46, Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. And the particulars of the offense is that on 18 May 2017, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Principal Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit to Intensa San Paola SPA, London branch, BNP Paribas Fortis, Intesa San Paolo SPA, Unicredit SPA, and Unicredit Bank AG, and CMC Di Ravenna Itinera joint venture by unlawfully approving the payment of €2,069,511.06 through payment advice number 112118 dated 26th of May 2017 for the development of the Kimwarel multipurpose dam. True or not true? Not true. Count number 9. Kamal Dugan, you have been charged with abuse of office, contrary to section 46, attached section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. And the particulars of the offense is that on 18 July 2017, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Principal Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit to Intensa San Paulo SPA London branch, BNP Paribas Fortis SS-NB, Intensa San Paulo SPA, Unicredit SPA, and Unicredit Bank AG, and CMC the Ravenna Itinera joint venture by unlawfully approving payment of shilling 163,477 euros as a commitment fees through payment advice number 112309 dated 26 July 2017 for the development of the Kimwarel multipurpose dam. True or not true? Count number 10. Kamal Dugan, you have been charged with abuse of office, contrary to section 46, attached to section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. And the particulars of the offense is that on 28 December 2017, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Principal Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit to Intensa San Paulo SPX, London branch, BNP Paribas Fortis, SS-NB, Intensa San Paulo SPA, Unicredit SPA, and Unicredit Bank AG, and CMC the Ravenna Itinera joint venture by unlawfully approving the payment of 30,000 euros as agency fees through payment advice number 113256 for the development of the Kimwarel multipurpose dam. True or not true? Count number 11. Kamal Dugan, you have been charged with abuse of office contrary to section 46, attached to section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. And the particulars is that on 18 January 2018, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Principal Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit to Intensa San Paulo SPA, London branch, BNP Paribas Fortis, SS-NB, Intensa San Paulo SPA, Unicredit SPA, and Unicredit Bank AG, and CMC di Ravenna Itinera joint venture by unlawfully approving the payment of euros 661,093.81 as commitment fees through payment advice number 112642 dated 22nd January 2018 for the development of the Kimwarel multipurpose dam. True or false? Count number 12. Kamal Dugan, you have been charged with abuse of office contrary to section 46, attached to section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. And the particulars of the offense is that on 18 July 2018, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Principal Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit to Intensa San Paulo SPA London branch, BNP Paribas Fortis SS-NB, Intensa San Paulo SPA, Unicredit SPA, and Unicredit Bank AG, and CMC di Ravenna Itinera joint venture by unlawfully approving the payment of 650,315.11 euros as commitment fees through payment advice number 113016 dated 16 July 2018 for the development of the Kimwarel multipurpose dam. True or false? Not true. Count number 13. Henry Iplagat Rotich, you have been charged with willful failure to comply with applicable procedures and guidelines relating to the management of public funds contrary to Section 45 2B and Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act No. 3 of 2003. And the particulars of the offense is that on 18 April 2017, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary and Accounting Officer of the National Treasury and Planning, willfully failed to comply with Section 68(1), together with the Section 68(2)(d) of the Public Finance and Management Act 2012 by failing to ensure that the facilities agreement in respect of the Kimwarel multipurpose dam entered into between the Government of Kenya and BNP Paribas Fortis SA/NB, Intesa Sanpaolo SPA, Unicredit SBA, and Unicredit Bank was lawful. True or not true? Not true. Count number 14. Henry Iplagat Rotich, Kamau Zuge, Kennedy Nyakundi Nyachiro, Jackson Dao Kinyanjui, and David Kiptumba Kimosop, you have been jointly charged with committing an offense of financial misconduct contrary to Section 197, 14 Part 1 of the Public Finance Management Act No. 18 of 2012. And the particulars of the offense is that between the 19th December 2014 and 23rd November 2018, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary, Principal Secretary, Chief Economist and Head of Europe 2 Division, Director Resource Mobilization Department in the National Treasury and Planning, and the Managing Director, Kerio Valley Development Authority, respectively, unlawfully, without lawful authority, caused an improper payment of public funds amounting to euros 75,423,148.38 belonging to the Government of Kenya, being the total sum paid in respect to Kimwarel multipurpose dam. Henry Kiplagat Rotich, true or not true? Kamau Duge, Kennedy Nyakundi, Jackson Jao, absent, and David Kiptumba Kimosop, absent. Count number 15. No appearance for count number 15, Your Honor.
Was also not there.
No appearance for 16, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I've been asked to introduce some advocates who have appealed. Yes. I have been asked to put on record representation for the 8th 9th and 10th accused, who are represented by the same advocates, namely Mr. Anami Kevin and Mr. Kevin and Mr. Mugo. Yes. For the 8th, 9th, and 10th accused.
May it please you, Your Honor, with your permission, we were proposing that the reading of the charges do continue for the other matters before the court takes any applications. We have consulted with the learned counsel from the defense and they have no objection to that. But this is, of course, subject to Your Honor's direction. In particular, Your Honor, the charges relating to number 20 and 21 refer to the same accused persons, and the second lot, 18 and 19, also refer to the same accused persons. And humbly, subject to your direction, we propose that we proceed with the reading of the charges and taking of plea before applications commence. Most obliged. They are separate files, Your Honor. So we thought we'll bring it to your attention, and of course we are subject to your direction.
So I will not have the
Most obliged.
What he has is 1 file now. He doesn't have 4 files. It's a separate file saying. Oh, no.
Anti-corruption case number 18 of 2019.
No, 21.
Number
Could we propose one we call 21? So that we didn't miss. 21. Yes, 21. 21 is the same. We've done 20.
Anti-corruption case number 21 of 2019. Henry Kiplagat Rotich, Kamal Uge, David Kiptumba Kimosop, absent. Kennedy Nyakundi Nyachiro, absent. Jackson Jao Kinyadri, absent. Titus Muridi, absent. Paolo Poseli, absent. CMC Di Ravena Itinera, absent. CMC Di Ravena Itibera Kenya branch.
Let's see what he says. Let's see what he says. We might jump the gun and it was very industrial.
Yes, Your Honor. And the quorum, especially in respect for the prosecution, remains the same, identical. I can't speak on behalf of the defense.
Your Honor, for the defense, it remains the same. we would only request that you remind yourself that in this case number 21, the accused are 9, the situation being that the third accused is not an accused in case number 21.
Correct. Most obliged, John.
David Kituba Kimoko, Kennedy Nyakuni Nyachiro, Jackson Njawi Kinyanjui, Titus Murezi, Paulo Forcelli, CMC Diravena Itinera, CMC Diravena Kenya Branch. Count number 1 is for Henry Kibragat Rotich, Kamau Duge, David Kitumba Kimoso, Kennedy Nyakundi Nyachiro, Jackson Njau Kinyanjui, Titus Murezi, Paulo Forcelli, CMC Diravena Itinera, CMC Diravena Itinera, Kenya Branch. The charge is conspiracy to defraud, contrary to Section 317 of the Penal Code, Part 53, Laws of Kenya. The particulars are between the 17th day of December 2014 and 27th September 2018, jointly conspired with others not before the court to engage in a scheme to defraud the government of Kenya US $227,407,605.50 in respect of the development of Arraigned multipurpose dam by entering into a commercial loan facility agreement, disguising it as a government-to-government loan guaranteed by the Italian government, while knowing that the tender document contained in the request for proposal for the development of the Arraigned multipurpose dam project was a concessional agreement where the intended concessionaire was to be the borrower and financial and not the government of Kenya. True or not true, Henry Kibragat Rotich, Kamau Duge, David Kitumba Kimoso, absent. Kennedy Nyakundi Nyachiro, Jackson Njau Kinyanjui, absent. Titus Murezi, absent. Paulo Forcelli, CMC Diravena Itinera, absent. CMC Diravena Itinera, also absent. Count number 2. Count number 2 is for Henry Kibragat Rotich, Kamau Duge, Kennedy Nyakundi Nyachiro, Jackson Njau Kinyanjui, David Kitumba Kimoso. The charge is willful failure to comply with applicable procedures and guidelines relating to procurement, contrary to Section 45, Section 2B, arraigned Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. The particulars are between the 17th December 2014 and 27th September 2018, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary, Principal Secretary, Chief Economist and Head of Europe 2 Division, Director, Resource Mobilization Department of National Treasury and Planning, and the Managing Director, Career Development Authority, respectively, being persons whose functions concern management of public funds, willfully fail to comply with the applicable law relating to procurement, with Section 103 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act No. 33 of 2015 by directing procuring the loan facilities from the financial, namely BNP Paribas Fortis, SA/NP, Intesa Sanpaolo SPA, Unicredit SPA, and Unicredit Bank AG for the development of Arrow multipurpose dam. True or not true, Henry Kibragat Rotich, Kamau Duge, Kennedy Nyakundi Nyanchiro, Jackson Nyau Kinyanjui, David Kipchumba Kimoso. Count number 3 is for Henry Kibragat Rotich, Kamau Duge, Kennedy Nyakundi Nyanchiro, Jackson Nyau Kinyanjui, and David Kipchumba Kimoso. The particulars are between the 17th December 2014 and 27th September 2018 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary, Principal Secretary, Chief Economist, and Head of Europe 2 Division, Director, Resource Mobilization Department of the National Treasury and Planning, and the Managing Director, Career Development Authority, respectively, irregularly procured through single sourcing and insurance policies to cover what was allegedly a government loan for the Aurora multipurpose dam project, contrary to Section 103 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act No. 33 of 2015, as read in the Regulation 8, subsection 3 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Regulations 2006, thereby causing the government of Kenya to suffer a loss of €52,092,311.75 to underwriter of FACC Insurance. True or not true, Henry Kibragat Rotich, Kamau Duge, Kennedy Nyakundi Nyanchiro, Jackson Nyau Kinyanjui, David Kipchumba Kimoso. Count number 4 is for Henry Kibragat Rotich and Kamau Duge. The charge is willful failure to comply with applicable procedures and guidelines relating to the management of public funds, contrary to Section 45, subsection 2B, as read in Section 48 of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act No. 3 of 2006. The particulars are between the 5th of April 2017 and 18th April 2017 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary, Principal Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, respectively, whose functions concern management of public funds, willfully failed to comply with Section 50, subsection 1 of the Public and Finance and Management Act 2012, as read with Regulation 56, subsection 1C of the Public Finance and Management Act Regulations 2012, by unlawfully entering into a commercial loan agreement for the sum of €578 million, thereby exceeding the limit set of 50% of the gross domestic product. True or not true, Henry Kibragat Rotich, Kamau Duge. Count number 5. The charge is for Henry Kibragat Rotich. The charge is willful failure to comply with applicable procedures and guidelines relating to the management of public funds, contrary to Section 45, subsection 2B, as read in Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act No. 3 of 2003. The particulars are between the 18th April 2017 and 28 November 2018 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, whose functions concern management of public funds which fail to comply with Section 50, subsection 6 and 7 of the Public Finance and Management Act 2012 by failing to pay into the consolidated fund the proceeds of a commercial loan amounting to $501,859,818.93. True or not true, Henry Lagat Rotich? Count number 6 is for Henry Lagat Rotich, Kamau Duke, David Kitumba Kimoto. The charge is engaging in a project without prior planning, contrary to Section 25, subsection 2C, as read in Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. The particulars are between 19 December 2014 and 23rd November 2018 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary and the Principal Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, and the Managing Director, Career Valley Development Authority, respectively being persons whose functions concern management of public revenue engaged in a project for the development of the Arraigned multipurpose dam without prior planning. True or not true, Henry Rotich? Kamau Duge, David Kitumba Kimoto. Count number 7, the charge is for Henry Rotich. The charge is abuse of office, contrary to Section 46, as read in Section 48 of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. The particulars are of the 18th April 2017 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit to CMC Diravena Itinera joint venture by unlawfully executing a facility agreement for the funding of the development of the Arraigned multipurpose dam, thereby conferring them contractual rights and benefits against the government of Kenya. True or not true, Henry Lagat Rotich? Count number 8, the charge is for Henry Lagat Rotich. The charge is abuse of office, contrary to Section 46, as read in Section 48 of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. The particulars are on the 18th April 2017 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to properly confer a benefit to CMC Diravena Itinera joint venture and the parties involved by unlawfully executing a facility agreement for the funding of the development of the Arraigned multipurpose dam, thereby creating an obligation against the government of Kenya to pay a sum of $277,407,605.50, which amounts to the total contractual amount sum for the development of Arraigned multipurpose dam. True or not true? Count number 9, the charge is for Henry Lagat Rotich. The charge is abuse of office, contrary to Section 56, as read in Section 48 of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. The particulars are between the 18th April 2017 and 6th November 2018 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit of €52,092,311.75 to FACES PA Associata per Azioni Insurance, contrary to Section 8, subsection 1R and B of the Public Finance Management Act number 18 of 2012, being insurance premium payments extended and lawful. True or not true, Henry Kiplagat Rotich. Count number 10. The charge is for Kamau Duke. The charge is abuse of office contrary to section 46 as read in section 48 of Anti-Corruption and Economic Rights Act number 3 of 2003. The particulars are on the 18th May 2017 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Principal Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit to Intesa San Paulo FDA, London branch, BNP Paribas Fortis SA, NV, Intesa San Paulo SPA, Unicredit SPA, and Unicredit Bank AG, and CMC Diravena Itinera Joint Venture, by unlawfully approving the payment of €2,556,965.58 through payment advice number 112183, dated 24th of May 2017, for the development of the Arroll multipurpose dam. True or not true? Count number 11. The charge is for Kamau Duke. The charge is abuse of office contrary to section 46 as read in section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Rights Act number 3 of 2003. The particulars are in the 18th day of July 2017 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Principal Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit to Intesa San Paulo FPA, London branch, BNP Paribas Fortis SA from NV, Intesa San Paulo SPA, Unicredit SPA, and Unicredit Bank AG, and CMC Diravena Itinera Joint Venture, by unlawfully approving the payment of €201,982.53 as commitment fees through payment advice number 112308, dated 26 July 2017, for the development of the Arroll multipurpose dam. True or not true? Count number 12. The charge is for Kamau Duke. The charge is abuse of office contrary to section 46 as read in section 48 of Anti-Corruption and Economic Rights Act number 3 of 2003. The particulars are on the 28th December 2017 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Principal Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit to Intesa San Paulo SPA, London branch, BNP Paribas Fortis SA NV, Intesa San Paulo SPA, Unicredit SPA and Unicredit Bank AG, and CMC Diravena Itinera Joint Ventures, by unlawfully approving the payment of €30,000 as agency fees through payment advice number 112627 for the development of the Arroll multipurpose dam. True or not? Count number 13. The charge is for Kamau Duke. The charge is abuse of office contrary to section 46 as read in section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Rights Act number 3 of 2003. The particulars are on 18 January 2018 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Principal Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, used your office to improperly confer a benefit to Intesa San Paulo SPA, London branch, BNP Paribas Fortis SA / NB, Intesa Sanpaolo SPA, Unicredit SPA and Unicredit Bank AG, and CMC Di Ravenna Itinera joint venture by unlawfully approving the payment of €790,874.52 as commitment fees through payment advice number 112655 dated 29 January 2018 for the development of the Arroll multipurpose dam. True or not true? Count number 14, the charge is for Kamau Kuga. The charge is abuse of office contrary to section 46 as read with section 48 of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. The particulars are on the 18th July 2018 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Principal Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, your office to improperly confer a benefit to Intesa Sanpaolo SPA, London branch, BNP Paribas Fortis SA / NB, Intesa Sanpaolo SPA, Unicredit SPA, and Unicredit Bank AG, and CMC Di Ravenna Itinera joint venture by unlawfully approving the payment of €579,562.20 as commitment fees through payment advice number 113005 dated 9 July 2018 for the development of the Arroll multipurpose dam. True or not true? Count number 15. The charge is for Henry Rotich. The charge is willful failure to comply with applicable procedures and guidelines relating to the management of public funds, contrary to section 45, subsection 2B, as read in section 48 of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. The particulars are on the 18th April 2017 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary and Accounting Officer of the National Treasury and Planning, willfully failed to comply with section 68 subsection 1 as read together with section 68 subsection 2B of the Public Finance and Management Act 2012 by failing to ensure that the facilities agreement in respect to Arroll multipurpose dam entered into between the Government of Kenya and BNP Paribas Fortis SA / NB, Intesa Sanpaolo SPA, Unicredit SPA, and Unicredit Bank AG was lawful. True or not true? Count number 16. The charge is for Henry Rotich, Kamau Kuga, Kennedy Nyakundi Nyanchiro, Jackson Njau Kinyanjui, and David Kituba Koech. The charge is committing an offense of financial misconduct contrary to section 197, subsection 101, subsection 1OI of the Public Finance Management Act number 18 of 2012. The particulars are between the 19th day of December 2014 and 23rd November 2018 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Cabinet Secretary, Principal Secretary, Chief Economist, Head of Europe 2 Division, Director Resource Mobilization Department in the National Treasury and Planning, and the Managing Director, Kerio Valley Development Authority, respectively, without lawful authority, caused an improper payment of public funds amounting to €93,075,714.96 belonging to the government of Kenya, being the total sum paid in respect to a rural multipurpose dam project. True or not true, Henry Kiplagat Rotich, Kamau Kige, Kennedy Nyakudi Nyachiro. Count number 17, the charge is for
the absent.
count number 18, the charge is for
Anti-corruption case number 18, which is accused number 1, David Kipchumba Kioko. Accused number 2, William Kemboi Maina. Accused number 3, Paul Kipchumba Kioko. Francis Jaconda Koech. Number 1, David Kipchumba Kioko.
Please respond if you are present or not. Please respond.
David is absent. The first one is absent.
Yes, absent. Yeah.
Number 2, William Kemboi. Number 3, Paul Kipchumba. Number 5, number 4, Francis Jaconda Koech. Number 5, Samuel Kimutai Dosei. Number 6, David Juma Onyengo. Number 8, number 7, Patrick Kipcho. Number 8, Elizabeth Kibemei. Elizabeth. Okay. Number 9, Esther Chichion. Number 10, Esther. Number 10, Moses Kichuma. Number 11, Nelson Ferrer. Number 12, Isaac Kino. Number 13, Patrick Gibson. 14, Frederick Towet. 15, Japan Uto. 16, Charity Muli. 17, Godfrey Mwangi Wahungu. 18, David Walunya Ungare. David. 19, Boniface Muguleo Lelisho. 20, Paulo Hussein. Paulo Hussein.
Absent.
21, Tensi Diwabena Kimeranju. 22, Tensi Diwabena Kimeranju. Count number 1.
What number is that? What? Case 5 number?
18 or 20.
19.
18.
19. 18.
You are all charged with count number 1. You are all charged with conspiracy to defraud, contrary to section 317 of the Penal Code, Cap 3 laws of Kenya. The particulars are between 17 December 2014 and 27 September 2018, conspired jointly with other state before court to unlawfully procure the services of the CMC JZ for the development of Kimoran multipurpose dam project and a purported EPC which scheme was designed to defraud the government of Kenya, USD 244,422,163.93. Is it true or not true, David Kichuma Kimeko?
Absent.
Number 2, William Kikimbo, is it true or not true? Number 3.
Absent, yes.
Number 2, William Kikimbo, Maina, true or not true? Number 3, Paul Koech, true or not true? Number 4, Francis Chekonga Kipkench, true or not true? Number 5, Samuel Kimutai Kipkei. David Juma Onyango. Patrick Kipto. Number 8, Elizabeth Kibemei, true or not true? Number 9, Esther Jepchirchir Kiror. No. Number 10, Moses Kichumba. No. Nelson Korir, number 11. Number 12, Isaac Kiru. Absent. Number 13, Patrick Kipsang. Absent. Number 14, Frederick Towet. Absent. Number 15, Jotham Ruto. Number 16, Charity Mui. Number 17, Geoffrey Mwangi Wahungu. Number 18, Charity Mui. Yes? Yeah, Number 17, Geoffrey Mwangi Wahungu. Number 18, David Walunya Mungari. Absent. David Walunya. 19, Boniface Mambuleo Lengisha. Absent. 20, Paolo Coselli. 21, CMC Giravena Kuminari. 22, CMC Giravena. Count number 2, David Kichumba Kimeko, William Kikemboi Maina, accused 2, and accused 3, Paul Kikoet Serem. You will charge with engaging in a project without prior planning, contrary to section 45 to section 2C, as read in section 48 of the Corruption and Economic Crime Act number 3 of 2003. The particulars are between 19th December 2014 and 23rd November 2018 within the Republic of Kenya, being the managing director, head of supply chain management, and manager engineering services of the Rio Valley Development Authority, respectively, being persons whose functions concern management of public revenue, engaged in a project for the development of the Kimorel multipurpose dam without prior planning, leading to a loss of euro 23,075,714.96. Is it true or not true, David Kichumba? Absent. Count number 2, William Kikemboi Maina. Count number 3, Paul Kikoet Serem. Count 3, David Kichumba Kimoko. Is 2, William Kikemboi Maina. 3, Paul Kikoet Serem. 4, Francis Chekonga Kipkech. 5, Samuel Kimutai Kipkei. 6, David Juma Onyango. 7, Patrick Kipto. 8 Elizabeth Kebenei, 9 Esther Jepchirchir Kirol, 10 Moses Kichuma, 11 Nelson Karir, 12 Isaac Kiru, 13 Patrick Isam. We all charged with willful failure to comply with applicable procedures and guidelines relating to public procurement, contrary to Section 55(2)(b), as well as Section 58 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act No. 3 of 2003. The particulars are between 19th December 2014 and 5th April 2017, within the Republic of Kenya, the Managing Director and the members of the Tender Committee of the Kenya Valley Development Authority, respectively, conscious in terms of management of public revenue, failed to comply with Section 29 of the Public-Private Partnership Act, procuring an investor to undertake the development of the Kimorel multi-purpose dam project. Is it true or not true, David Kichuma? Point number 2, William Kikomboi Maina, true or not true? 3, Paul Kikoy Serem, true or not true? 4, Francis Chekonga Kikech. 5, Samuel Kimutai Koech. 5, Samuel Kimutai Koech, true or not true? 6, David Juma Onango, true or not true? 7, Patrick Kito, true or not true? 8, Elizabeth Kibenei, true or not true? 9,
Absent.
9 Esther Jepchirchir Kirol, true or not true? Esther Jepchirchir. Can you speak louder?
You see that?
10 Moses Kichumba. 11 Nelson Karir.
Absent.
12 Isaac Kiru.
Absent.
13 Patrick Isam.
Absent.
14 Frederick Koech.
Absent.
15 Jotham Vito. 16 Charity Moni. Count number 4. David Kichumba Moto. 1. William Kikemboi Maina. 3 Paul Kikoy Serem. 4 Francis Chekonga Kikech. 5 Samuel Kimutai Koech. 6 David Juma Onyango. 7 Patrick Kito. 8 Elizabeth Kibenei. 9 Esther Jepchirchir Kirol. 10 Moses Kichumba. 11 Nelson Karir. 12 Isaac Kiru. 13 Patrick Isam. You are about charged with willful failure to comply with applicable procedures and guidelines relating to public procurement, contrary to Section 55(2)(b), as well as Section 58 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act No. 3 of 2003. The particulars are between 19th December 2014 and 5th April 2017, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Managing Director and the members of the Tender Committee of the Kenya Valley Development Authority, respectively, with functions concerned the management of public revenue, failed to comply with the law on public procurement, to which Section 66, Subsection 2 of the Public Procurement and Disposal Act 205, by failing to conduct the evaluation and set out in the tender document for the development of the Kimorel multi-purpose dam project. Is it true or not true, David? Absent. Accused 2, William Kikemboi Maina, true or not true? 3 Paul Kikoy Serem. 4 Francis Chekonga Kikech. 5 Samuel Kimutai Koech. 6 David Juma Onyango. 7 Patrick Kito. 8 Elizabeth Kibenei.
Absent.
9 Esther Jepchirchir Kirol. 10 Moses Kichumba. 11 Nelson Karir.
Absent.
12 Isaac Kiru.
Absent.
13 Patrick Isam.
Absent.
Patrick Isam.
Is absent.
14 Frederick Koech.
Absent.
15 Jotham Vito. 16 Charity Moni. Count number 5. David Kichuma Moto.
Yes.
David Kichuma Moto. Count number 6. David Kichumba Kimoko, Count number 7, David Kichumba Kimoko, William Kikumboi Maina, is 2, 3 Paul Koech Serem, 4 Francis Cheponga Koech, 5 Samuel Kimutai Koech, 6 David Juma Onyango, 7 Patrick Kito, 8 Elizabeth Kibene, 9 Esther Jepchichu Kirol, 10 Moses Kichumba, 11 Nelson Koril, 12 Isaac Kiru, 13 Patrick Kisam. You are all charged with willful failure to comply with applicable procedures and guidelines relating to public procurement, contrary to Section 45 2B, as well as Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act No. 3 of 2003. The particulars are between the 19th December 2014 and 5th April 2014 within the Republic of Kenya, being the Managing Director and the members of the Tender Committee of the Keyo Valley Development Authority respectively, whose functions concern the management of public revenue, failed to comply with the law on public procurement, to which Section 66 Subsection 2 of the Public Procurement and Disposal Act 2005, we failed to conduct the evaluation using the procedures set out in the document for the development of the Kimora multipurpose dam project. Is it true or not true, David? True or not true, William? Accused 2. Accused 3, Paul Kikwaisaran. Accused 4, Francis Chekonga. 5, Samuel Kimutai Koech. 6, David Juma Onyango. 7, Patrick Kito. 8, Elizabeth Kibene.
Absent.
9, Esther Jepchichu Kirol. 10, Moses Kichumba. 11, Nelson Koril.
Absent.
12, Isaac Kiru.
Absent.
13, Patrick Kisam. Count number 8, David Kichumba.
Just a minute.
There are some more accused persons.
Number
There are
4.
some more accused persons in the same count.
Number 14.
Accused number 14, Frederick Towet.
Absent.
Absent. Jotham Ruto, 16, Charity Mooney. Count number 8, accused number 1, David Kichumba Kimoko, 2, William Kikemoi Maina, 3, Paul Koech Serem. You were charged with willful failure to comply with applicable procedures and guidelines relating to the management of public funds, contrary to Section 55 to Section 2B, as read in Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act No. 3 of 2003. The particulars are, on or before December 2014, being the Managing Director, Head of Supply Chain Management, and Manager Engineering Services of the Keyo Valley Development Authority, willfully failed to comply with the law to which Section 33 of the Public-Private Partnership Act by failing to ensure that a feasibility study was undertaken prior to the initiation of the Kimara Dam project. True or not true, David?
Absent.
2, William Kipkimboi Maina. 3, Paul Kikwai Serem. Count number 9. Accused number 17, Geoffrey Mwangi Wahongu. And 18 David Walunya Ongare. 19 Boniface Mongoleo Lengisho. You were charged with willful neglect to perform official duty contrary to Section 128 as read in Section 36 of the Penal Code. The particulars are between the 19th June 2017 and 4th April 2018 within the Republic of Kenya, being officers of the National Environment Management Authority NEMA, willfully neglected to perform official duties by failing to ensure that the applications made for the issuance of the environmental and social impact assessment license for the development of Kimora multipurpose dam project met the conditions set out under Section 63 of the Environmental Management and Coordination Act No. 8 of 1999. Is it true or not true, Godfrey Mwangi?
Not true.
Accused 18, David Walunya Ongare.
Absent.
19, Boniface Mongoleo Lengisho.
Absent. would be asked.
But you are for us it's different.
It is getting complex. It is
Probably that they can just explain that they're different accused.
getting complex. Getting complex. Yeah, the relationship. Okay.
Sorry, Your Honor, just before we move to the next one, we note that the accused persons are different from those in the other two files. So we're just wondering whether the defense could confirm whether the same quorum applies.
Your Honor, the representation is completely different in this case. In respect to case number 18 and number 19.
May it please you, Your Honor. Taib Ali Taib, my learned friend Emily Kamau, DDPP, my learned friend Alexander Muteti, SADPP, my learned friend Victor Owiti, SPC, and my learned friend Madam Wakio Mwamburi, PC, appearing for the prosecution.
For the defense, Your Honor, for the first to the fourth accused, the representation is myself, Katwa Kigan, Mr. Ojijo, and Ms. Mudeu. Yes, Mudeu, M-U-T-H-E-U. And that representation is for the first to the fourth accused, Your Honor, 6th and 7th, 9th and 10th, and 15th and 16th. For the fifth accused, Your Honor, I appear together with Mr. Lagat, Mr. Marimoy, and Mr. Kiprono. My learned friend, Mr. Kwandaru, appears for the 17th accused. Gwandaru, may I spell it, Your Honor? G-W-A-N-D-A-R-U for the 17th accused. For the 18th accused, Your Honor, there is Mr. Eric Theuri and Mr. Atukunda. Sorry, Miss, I apologize. Miss Atukunda. I apologize. 18 years. And for the 20th, 21st, and 22nd accused. 20, 21, and 22 accused is Mr. Anami, Kevin Anami, and Mr. Mugo. The others, Your Honor, I do not have indication of their representation, and they are not present.
Is there a counsel word?
Anti-corruption case number 19 of 2019. David Kiptumba Kimoso.
Absent.
Absent. William Kipkemboi Maina. Paul Koech Serem. Francis Chepkonga Chipkech. Samuel Kimutai Oskei. David Juma Onyango. Patrick Kipto. Elizabeth Kebenei. Elizabeth Kebenei. Absent. Esther Jepchirchir Kiro. Moses Kiptumba. Nelson Korir. Nelson Korir. Absent. Isaac Kiru.
Absent.
Absent. Patrick Kipsang.
Absent.
Absent. Frederick Koech. Absent. Jordan Ruto. Charity Mui. Charity Mui. Geoffrey Mwangi Wahungu. David Walunya Ongare. David Walunya Ongare.
Absent.
Absent. Boniface Mamboleo Lengisho. Boniface Mamboleo. Absent. Paolo Poseli. Absent. CMC Di Ravena Itinera. Absent. CMC Di Ravena Itinera Kenya Branch. Absent. You have been doing the charge with conspiracy to defraud to section 317 of the Penal Code, chapter 63, laws of Kenya. And the particulars of the offense is that between 17 December 2014 and 27 September 2018, conspired jointly with others not before the court to unlawfully procure the service of the CMC Di Ravena Itinera JV for the development of the Arrowed Multipurpose Dam Project and the purported EPC, which scheme was designed to defraud the government of Kenya, Kenya shilling government of Kenya of $407,407,605.50. David Kiptumba Kimosop. Absent. William Kipkemboi Maina. True or not true? Paul Koech Serem. True or false? Francis Chepkonga Kipkech. Samuel Kimutai Oskei. David Juma Onyango. Patrick Kiptu. Elizabeth Kebenei. Absent. Esther Jepchirchir Kirol. Moses Kiptumba. Nelson Korir. Absent. Isaac Kiru. Absent. Patrick Kipsang. Absent. Frederick Stowet. Absent. Josam Ruto. Charity Mui. Geoffrey Mwangi. David Walunya Ongare. Absent. Boniface Mamboleo. Absent. Paolo Poseli. Absent. CMC Di Ravena. Absent. And CMC Di Ravena Kenya Branch. Absent. Count number 2. David Kiptumba Kimosop. Absent. William Kipkemboi Maina. Paul Koech Serem. You have been jointly charged with engaging in a project without prior planning, contrary to section 45(2)(c), section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. And the particulars of the offense is that between 19 December 2014 and 23 November 2018, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Managing Director, Head of Supply Chain Management, and Manager Engineering Service of the Kerio Valley Development Authority, respectively, being persons whose functions concern management of public revenue, engaged in a project for the development of the Arraigned multipurpose dam without prior planning, leading to a loss of euro 93,075,714.96. David Kitumba Kimosop, absent. William Kikemboi Maina, true or not true? Paul Koech Serem, not true. Count number 3. David Kitumba Kimosop, William Kikemboi Maina, Paul Koech Serem, Francis Chepkonga Kipkech, Samuel Kimutai Oskei, David Duma Onyango, Patrick Kiptu, Elizabeth Tebenei, Esther Chepchirchir, Moses Kiptumba, Nelson Korir, Isaac Piru, Patrick Kipsang, Frederick Towet, Jordan Bruto, and Charity Mui. You have been jointly charged with willful failure to comply with applicable procedures and guidelines relating to public procurement, contrary to section 45(2)(b), as in section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. And the particulars of the offense is that between 19 December 2014 and 5th April 2017, public revenue failed to comply with section 29 of the Public-Private Partnership Act while procuring an investor to undertake development of the Arraigned multipurpose dam project. David Kitumba Kimosop, William Kemboi Maina, not true. Paul Koech Serem, Francis Chepkonga Kipkech, Samuel Kimutai Oskei, David Juma Onyango, Patrick Kipto, Elizabeth Kebenei, absent. Esther Jeff Chirchir, Moses Kitumba, Nelson Korir, absent. Isaac Piru, absent. Patrick Kipsang, absent. Frederick Towet, absent. Jordan Bruto, Charity Mui. Count number 4. David Kipchumba Kimosop, William Kipkemboi Maina, Paul Koech Serem, Francis Chepkonga Kipkech, Samuel Kimutai Oskei, David Duma Onyango, Patrick Kiptu, Elizabeth Kebenei, Esther Jepchirchir, Moses Kipchumba, Nelson Korir, Isaac Piru, Patrick Kipsang, Frederick Towet, Jordan Ruto, and Charity Mui. You have been jointly charged with willful failure to comply with the applicable procedures and guidelines relating to public procurement, contrary to section 45(2)(b), as in section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. And the particulars of the offense is that between 19 December 2014 and 5th April 2017, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Managing Director and the members of the Time Tender Committee of the Kerio Valley Development Authority, respectively, whose functions concern the management of public revenue, failed to comply with the law on public procurement, to which section 66(2) of the Public Procurement and Disposal Act 2005 by failing to conduct the evaluation as set out in the tender document for the development of the Aror multi-purpose dam project. David Kipchumba Kimosop, absent. William Kipkemboi Maina, true or not true? Paul Koech, Francis Tseponga, Samuel Kimutai, David Duma Onyango, Patrick Kiptu, Elizabeth Kebene, absent. Esther Jepchirchir, Moses Kipchumba, Nelson Korir, absent. Isaac Hiro, absent. Patrick Kipsang, absent. Frederick Koech, absent. Jordan Bruto, Charity Mui. Count number 5. David. Count number 5 is absent. Count number 6 absent. Count 6 absent, Your Honor. Count number 7. David Kipchumba Kimosop, William Kipkemboi Maina, Paul Kipkoech Serem, Francis Chepkonga Kipkech, Samuel Kimutai Koskei, David Duma Onyango, Patrick Kipto, Elizabeth Kibenei, Esther Jepchirchir, Moses Kipchumba, Nelson Korir, Isaac Kiro, Patrick Kipsang, Frederick Towet, Jordan Ruto, and Charity Mui. You have been charged with willful failure to comply with the applicable procedures and guidelines relating to public procurement contrary to Section 45 2B as read with Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. And the particulars is that between 19 December 2014 and 5th April 2017, within the Republic of Kenya, being the Managing Director and the members of the Tender Committee of the Kerio Valley Development Authority, respectively, whose function concerned the management of public revenue, failed to comply with the law on public procurement with Section 66(2) of the Public Procurement and Disposal Act 2005 by failing to conduct the evaluation using the procedures set out in the tender document for the development of the Aror multipurpose dam project. David Kipchumba, William Kipkemboi Maina, true or not true? Paul Kipkoech Serem, Francis Chepkonga Kipkech, Samuel Kimutai Koskei, David Duma Onyango, Patrick Kiptu, Elizabeth Kebene, absent. Esther Jepchirchir, Moses Kipchumba, Nelson Korir, absent. Isaac Kiru, absent. Patrick Kipsang, absent. Frederick Towet, absent. Jordan Bruto, Charity Muya. Count number 8. Geoffrey Mwangi Wahungu, David Walunya Ongare, Boniface Mamboleo Lengisho, you have been jointly charged with willful neglect to perform official duty contrary to Section 128 as in Section 36 of the Penal Code. And the particulars of the offense is that between 19 June 2017 and 14 April 2018, within the Republic of Kenya, being officers of the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, willfully neglected to perform your official duties by failing to ensure that the application made for the issuance of the environmental and social impact assessment license for the development of the Aror multipurpose dam project met the condition set out under Section 63 of the Environment Management and Coordination Act number 8 of 1999. Geoffrey Mwangi Wahungu, Not true. David Onunya. Absent. Boniface Mambolia. Absent. That's all.
Then you make the application. That's what I think.
Your Honor, with your kind permission, we wish to make an application in case number 20 of 2019. And Your Honor, we are making this application on behalf of the first accused, the second accused, the third accused, and the fifth accused. Your Honor, in order to save on court time, we've agreed as defense counsel, we make a joint application, and my colleagues may wish to supplement this application if need be. Your Honor, we are also kindly requesting, yes, yes, for release on bail. No, accused 1, accused 2, accused 3, and accused 5. Those are the people who are before this court and who have taken a plea today. Your Honor, this was agreed by defense counsel so that we save the court's time, and they will be at liberty to supplement just in case I've left anything out.
That is the problem.
Sorry, Your Honor.
When they supplement, every advocate wants to be heard by the client. They will start again. So if you are presenting all of them, the defense counsel says so, they are not allowing you to hear.
Maybe say only two. I don't know.
Your Honor, the agreement is that Mr. Kilukumi and Mr. Murkomen are the only ones who will address you. And with your permission, we would like to that it applies to all the 4 cases, Your Honor. All the 4 files. And the only people who will address you are Mr. Kilukumi and Mr. Murkomen.
All the 4 files, Your Honor. We believe that way we will save the court's time instead of having to repeat the same things.
So do I consolidate these particular files for this particular application?
Yes. That you take it as a consolidated application. SCC 18, 19, 21.
We have no objection, Your Honor. The matter is as my learned friend Mr. Kirokumi has presented it.
So, for purposes of application of the defense, SCC 18 to SCC 18 are hereby also rejected.
We are most grateful. Yes. Yes. Yes, Your Honor, we are making an application for release of the accused persons who have taken plea before you under Article 49, Sub-Article 1H of the Constitution of Kenya. All the accused persons are entitled to be admitted to bail or to bond on reasonable conditions unless there are compelling reasons why they should not be so released. We are not aware of any compelling reason why the accused persons cannot be admitted to bail or bond. On the contrary, Your Honor, there are compelling reasons why the accused persons should immediately be admitted to bail. The first accused person has fully cooperated with the investigative agencies. He has visited the Directorate of Criminal Investigations on 7 different occasions, spending over 40 hours with the investigators. He made each and every document they requested available. Where translations were required from foreign languages, that was facilitated and done. The first accused has basically done everything that a suspect can possibly do to help investigators. The second accused person, for the very first time, it was yesterday that he knew that there were investigations. He has never been asked to record any statement. He was completely surprised when he was being arrested. A decision has been made to prosecute him without affording him the basic right to be heard so that those who take the decision to prosecute may rationally arrive at such decisions. Nonetheless, what is important at this stage, both the first accused and the second accused are Kenya citizens, resident in Kenya, and like all the other accused persons, they are fixed abode, very well known to the prosecution. The third accused person, a permanent secretary. This gracious lady was on her way to the airport when she heard the news that DCI would want to have to spend some time with her. She turned back, cancelled her trip to South Africa, and that is the hallmark of a responsible citizenry. She stands out as a responsible citizen. She could easily have taken her flight to South Africa, and she would not be here today. And this script runs nearly to all the accused persons that are before you and who have taken plea. They presented themselves to various police stations, and they have come before this court. They are not a flight risk at all. They have fixed abodes, and they have each and every intention to attend their trial from start to finish. Your Honor, we are traveling a very well-trodden path under Article 49 of the Constitution. The only primary and important consideration for the court before it admits anyone to bail is whether or not they will turn up for their trial. Your Honor, my instructions are each and every one of the accused persons who have taken plea before you will attend court faithfully from trial when it commences to the very end. Your Honor, the accused persons face serious charges, serious allegations involving public funds. No one can run away from that aspect. But as a matter of law, these remain nothing else but allegations. And allegations to face anyone is nothing else but a misfortune. It's just a misfortune that they are facing these grave allegations. The Constitution under Article 52, 50 sub-article 2, presumes all these accused persons to be innocent. And we are therefore standing and starting from a clean slate. These are innocent persons under the law who seek the court to release them on reasonable conditions so that their liberties and freedoms are not curtailed during the pendency of this trial. Your Honor, the Constitution speaks of reasonable conditions, and we ask you to consider releasing each of these accused persons on reasonable conditions. Our understanding of reasonable conditions are conditions that would allow an accused person to reasonably access bail or bond. The conditions should not be such as to practically grant bail yet deny it by giving impossible conditions. Your Honor, you have long experience in these matters, and we have no doubt that you will exercise your discretion judiciously in considering what would be reasonable conditions for the release of the accused persons. And Your Honor, with those reasons, for those reasons, we ask you to grant our prayer. I will now ask my colleague, Senator Murkomen, to address you. But when he appears here, is Mr. Murkomen.
Thank you very much. Your Honor, my learned friend, Senior Lukumi, has done so well in submitting on the areas we have agreed. Suffice to add that I just want to add two things. One, Your Honor, if you look at all the accusations against you, in all the four cases, there is no accusation that suggests that the accused have benefited from these allegations, and that there is no allegation that they have conferred themselves any benefit directly from this from these 4 cases. And therefore, when you are considering the bail terms, Your Honor, I beg that you put into consideration the fact that there is no accusation here that any of these ladies and gentlemen benefited from this purported looting of public resources. Number two is that, Your Honor, just like Senior Counsel Kulukumi has said, Article 49 of the Constitution talks about reasonable terms, bail terms. This must be juxtaposed on the position that one is innocent until proven guilty. Therefore, Your Honor, we believe that as you exercise your discretion, please bear in mind that the bail terms should not be such that the accused will find themselves in a situation where they are being punished in the interim when they are innocent and their guilty has not been proven by anybody. The last thing I would like to say is that, Your Honor, please put into consideration also the fact that most of the KVDA staff, especially in case number 18 and 19, are very junior employees, and they earn very meager amount, and they are basically not going to, please don't treat them like any other person. Don't generalize. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't generalize their situation, because some of them are really very junior staff in the parastatal itself. And the last thing I'd like to say is that not everybody is facing the same charges, Your Honor. For example, the accused number 3 is only her name is only indicated in case number 20, P.S. Susan Koech. She's been there only served public for less than one and a half years. And interestingly, Your Honor, she came into the ministry in March 2018. The period that the DPP is investigating for planning and procurement is from 2014 to September 2018. So if you look at the period she's been in the ministry, and regarding the accusations, it's only 6 months. The DPP never bothered to think about who was the PS from 2014, who was the cabinet secretary from 2014 to the period. So you can realize, Your Honor, for that short stint period, and for the short period she served in public service, it would be unfair to generalize the bail terms for someone who has served very short stint in public service. The last thing I'd like to say is that if you look at all these accused, from the accused number 1, number 2, number 3 to the last, they have diligently served the public. They've given many hours, just like yourself, Your Honor, many hours to public service. Then just one day, one would think that, you know, it's not possible, Your Honor, after putting such period of time on public service, for any person who has served the public to say that one is a flight risk, or to say that they are not patriotic enough and they love their country. What these ladies and gentlemen are up to is to be afforded the opportunity to prove their innocence, and they are very eager to do so. And I would hope that, Your Honor, you will consider the same when granting reasonable bail terms as contemplated in Article 49 of the Constitution. I thank you.
May it please you, may it please you, Your Honor, for the record, we would like to disabuse anyone. We want no adjournments. The DPP wants no quota, no leeway. He wants to get the job done as quickly as is humanly possible. We bear in mind only the saying that procedure is the handmaiden of justice. And therefore, as quickly as the procedure will allow the attainment of justice, we are ready and willing to proceed and cooperate with this court to ensure that we finalize this case as quickly as possible. And we will be urging the court, when granting hearing dates, to give us consecutive, continuous dates so that we can finalize the same. In respect to the application that has been made by my learned friends, I wish to put on record that it is not correct that the DPP did not bother to find out details of which officer served in which office at which moment in time. To the contrary, the DPP has been meticulous, has been thorough, and has ensured that he has put together a case that will convince this court to return convictions against the accused persons. Our case is not that the accused persons are innocent, even though the court and the law presumes them to be innocent until proven guilty. To the contrary, and as can be expected, our case is that the accused persons have not been at their stations working for the public good of the citizens of this great Republic of Kenya. Our case is that they have been at their workstation, employing their time, working for their own personal benefit. But let me pause there for a while, my lord. Let me attempt to save the time of this honorable court by putting forward a proposition that may assist all sides. If my proposition is declined, then I will request to be allowed to respond completely and exhaustively to the application that has been made by my learned friends. We propose to learned counsel for the defense and through them to the accused persons that the interest of the deputy public prosecutor is to ensure their attendance in court for their trial. That is his paramount goal, not to seek retribution through denial of bail. If the accused persons are willing to surrender all their passports and all their travel documents to this honorable court, I'm saying all their passports and all their travel documents because some have multiple travel documents. If they are willing to keep away from their places of work, if they are willing not to approach any of our witnesses, if they are willing to bind themselves before this court, not to tamper with documentary or any other evidence, if they are willing to provide adequate sureties for their attendance for the trial, if they are willing to accede to these conditions, we will have no problem with what they have requested. The amount of monies that this republic has lost through these accused persons is immense, Your Honor. And we will be praying to the court that if these requirements are met and acceded to by the accused persons, we will be praying to this court to fix or to consider fixing the terms of such bail to be commensurate to the billions whose loss has been occasioned by these accused persons. It is a proposition that we make on a without prejudice basis to our right to response, and it is an application that we are making in good faith to save the court's time. And before I sit down, Your Honor, so that we can receive the response of my learned friends on the defense, I would like again to put it on record that we do not agree or accept or concede to any of the submissions that have been made by my learned friends. None whatsoever. That is all, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, I am grateful to my senior for being a professional and accepting that bail is a right that accused persons ordinarily would enjoy. That's what professionalism calls for. Your Honor, these conditions that he is proposing are acceptable to the applicants before you. Where it relates to passports, Your Honor, and travel documents, this will only apply to those of the accused persons who have passports and traveling documents. Not all of them have these documents. Some of them have, some of them do not have. On the question of sureties, we ask Your Honor to use your discretion on question of sureties, because that only comes in if a party is not able to post a cash bail and is admitted to bond. It may be a term of the bond condition that sureties be provided. We ask Your Honor to exercise your discretion so that if you give us the alternative of cash bail, the issue of surety does not arise. And where there is that alternative, an applicant who pursues the alternative may have to post the sureties. And in fact, I've conferred with my senior and he says that is acceptable to the prosecution team. And then finally, Your Honor, I turn to the billions. This, I said, are nothing else but allegations. Are there billions inside the applicant's pockets, back pocket or front pocket? There aren't those billions. And what the Constitution requires and instructs this court to do is to give reasonable conditions. Reasonable condition may involve the court looking at what is at stake, how much has been lost. But the court must be careful not to take away the primary consideration that has been laid down by case law. The issue is simply, will the accused turn up for trial? How does it help the prosecution if the court was to make an order, deposit a huge sum of money, and we assume an applicant is able to deposit that money, and he flees his trial? That does not serve any purpose. And that's why the Constitution uses the words reasonable conditions. Indeed, in our experience, those who wish to run away from their trials are quite quick to deposit money in the secure knowledge that he will never turn up for trial. This has been our experience in drug cases, narcotics, and others. So the question is never about billions. It is about, will this person turn up for trial? In fact, you can free them on a free bond and they turn up for their trial. That's all, Your Honor.
Mr. Taib, I want to just deal with this matter. How long will it take you to supply documents and evidence?
Why don't you adopt the system for case management? Then my proposal is that we pick a date for the case management, and in the meanwhile we will supply every counsel and accused persons with the documents.
So can I say that you will be ready for the trial conference in 14 days?
Yes, that would be all right. Would Your Honor like 21 days? So that because of the number of the accused persons and the fact that some have not appeared before you today, and the fact that some advocates have gone on record but have not themselves appeared, if my understanding is correct, I am just being realistic that we need to sort out those logistics, provide everybody with their set of documents, and then come here to confirm before you and then proceed even on a daily basis.
Now, within those 21 days, you have exchanged documents, and maybe you'll have had one conference between yourselves.
That is all right, my lord.
So you exchange documents within the next 7 days?
That is in order, Your Honor.
And then after maybe 3-4 days, you conference between yourself and the defense to compare what you have received. Then on the 21st day is just for the trial conference.
Yes.
Is that in order?
That is in order, Your Honor. That is in order.
It's now 1. How long do you expect me to take to read the reading? You've been here since... Yeah? I'm not a robot.
Your Honor, before you say when you're going to give the ruling,
Yes.
We had a few issues to address, a few housekeeping issues to address you on, and we seek your direction.
Also then...
Yes.
Yes.
So, Your Honor, with the permission of my learned friend, Senior Tayo, in respect of those persons who have not appeared, the DPP has instructed us to indicate to this court that we are prepared to have them appear voluntarily before the DCI before the close of business tomorrow, and those that fail to show up, then warrants of arrest can issue. So that we don't have to return to court over that matter. We have also noted that there is counsel in court for the 2 companies, that is CMC de Ravenna Itinera and CMC de Ravenna Kenya branch, who is in court, and one Paolo Poselli, who is a foreigner and is also not in court. Particularly would want Paolo, this is P.A. Paolo Poselli, P-O-R-C-E-L-L-I. Yes, we would specifically want to know from the counsel who has been placed on record for those 3 whether they are prepared within the same timeline that we have set to present themselves to the DCI, because we have had problems specifically getting hold of them. So that then, if he has no instructions on that, international warrants do issue against the directors of those companies and this gentleman, Paolo, whom we have named in the charge sheet. Then, Your Honor, the other matter that I would wish to ask the court also to give directions on is when we are to return to this court for purposes of plea for those who will have presented themselves to the DCI by close of business tomorrow, and we would propose that Friday would be a suitable day unless Your Honor directs otherwise. Friday will be 26th. Yes, Your Honor, 26th. Thank you, Your Honor.
second limb of Mr. Muteti's submission. The accused appearing for the Ravenna. Mr. Anami, yes.
So, our instructions as such, we received them this morning, and we are limited to appearance today.
Yes?
We are limited to, we need to confer with our client, who is presently out of the country. And on account of the fact that he's out of the country, it will be difficult for us to commit to attend to the DCI's offices by tomorrow. So we do not have any instructions as to the arrangements, and we've been requesting that the share of warrants be issued at this point in time, maybe for summons issue, so that our client can now receive those summons and make arrangements to attend to the DCI as other is possible. This should be our request.
You will serve the summons and
Sorry, Your Honor?
you will serve the summons out of the country.
We undertake to serve the summons if we are given the opportunity to do so. The only reason is we are also communicating with them through their lawyers and that's in regards to the order for change. In regards to the companies, Your Honor, we do not know who has been appointed as the authorized agent to take a plea on behalf of the companies. So again, we need to get this verified and documented so that we can properly address the ACI. So our request would be to get a bit more time to get more information in regards to this three cases.
7 days. These are various steps.
For us, if we can get 14 days that have been given for purposes of the trial, we can come back on the date scheduled for the trial with feedback from our clients. Sorry, Your Honor, I believe it was just 1 day, it's not 15 days. That was asked by the prosecution.
So, do you have the instructions to take the document?
Yes, we do. That just like what we want in regards to the second accused person, and this regards to Paolo Procedural, he has not been summoned, the statement hasn't been taken. And that's the reason why we want him to also be sought with the government, so we can be able to advise him on what charges he's actually facing and the arrangements he needs to make.
Your name is Keuri. Not here for accused number 18. Yes. He's absent.
Which case?
SSC number 18. 19. Yes. My instructions are that the accused has traveled out of the country to the UK. Travel with accused 18? Yes, accused number 18. Traveled to the UK construction work-related assignments. When I left the country on the 20th of July 2018. Rona is expected back to the country on Thursday. Yes. For that reason, Your Honor, I will not give appear before the DCI tomorrow. Asking the President of senior line to leave from the prosecution. Your Honor, I also have a 2-day trial, an anti-corruption trial. We are finalizing the defenses on the 25th and 26th. No, that's criminal case number 5, 2013. We need to finalize the defenses. For that reason, now, criminal case 5, 2014. And for that reason, we kindly asking that we do appear on the 29th of July for purposes of technical.
You can't delegate. That's for plea. You feel that you delegate their legal. Yeah, you can't hold a trial just for a plea taking. It was hearing or
Yes, Your Honor, we appreciate.
You know how we do this.
Yes, of course, I appreciate that. I suppose Your Honor, you also appreciate that some of these matters, especially when you have dealings with the client for quite a bit of time, they feel very, very comfortable when you appear, when they are appearing for you. And Your Honor, since we are saying the only difference is a day.
What about you tell them that the court refused? Because
Your Honor, we basically are pleading to this question. Just give me that. It's basically a plea. We appreciate that we basically make it.
But you've heard my sentiments, eh?
Yes, Your Honor. If in the event that you make this correction, okay. But I do confirm that on my part, I'm ready to speak in this big trial. Documents for purposes of the
Your Honor, I have instructions also in respect to Mr. Kimoso, David Kimoso, who is the first accused in case number 18 and number 19. Is accused number 1 in case number, sorry, is first accused in case number in case 18 and 19, and he is accused number 4 in case number 20, and is accused number 3 in case number 21. Your Honor, the instructions I have is that he had traveled out of the country, and more specifically that he had traveled to Congo. His original plan was to have come back by Saturday. Upon learning of the interest that the DPP has on him, I requested him to come earlier and indicated to me the earliest he could make it to get to Kenya would be midday on Thursday. For that reason, Your Honor, I very kindly request that I present him on Friday if you firm up Friday as the date of taking plea, or on such future date as you fix. But in whichever case, Your Honor, I pray that he be excused from the requirement that he must appear before the DCI's office by close of date tomorrow. and that the date can be scheduled anytime after Thursday midday. Your Honor, I also have instructions in respect to accused number 14 in case number 18 and 19. Number 14 in case 18 and 19, that's Rotich Koech. Your Honor, Mr. Koech is unwell and he is fairly advanced in age and he is struggling with diabetes and high blood pressure. He is on a bed rest, Your Honor, and I have requested him to consult with his doctor if he can appear by Thursday. If I had consulted with my colleagues, I would have made it earlier to Wednesday, but I very kindly request for accommodation up to Thursday. And subject to the date you will firm up for hearing, we request that I present him on the date of the taking of plea, if possible on Friday. For the defense, we would really appreciate if the plea could be taken on Monday, but we leave it to you, Your Honor. We make it as a request. Lastly, Your Honor, on behalf of the defense, we request that on the date for taking plea in respect to the parties who have not appeared, the rest of the accused do not need to appear. The accused that have already taken plea.
Your Honor, subject to your agreement, because yours is the final word. Subject to your agreement, we have no objection to Mr. Kimosop being given extended time to Thursday when he returns to present himself to the DCI on Thursday afternoon for processing. Nor do we have any objection to Mr. Towet, who we will take learned counsel's word, is ill. I have never had a reason to doubt my learned friend, Mr. Keegan. We are willing also for the extension of time for his ill client to attend and present himself to the DCI on Thursday afternoon, also for processing. We also have no objection to the accused persons who have already taken plea not attending during the continued session for plea taking. The DPP is not unreasonable, he is very reasonable. But we do ask, Your Honor, that there are 4 accused persons who I believe are present here today and have taken plea but have not presented themselves to the DCI for processing, and the others who failed to attend should not be exempted from the requirement to present themselves before the DCI by tomorrow afternoon, failing which warrants should issue to compel their attendance before this honorable court. My final concern, Your Honor, and which you will have witnessed yourself, is the ensuing knots in the string that are presenting themselves before you. The unfolding scenario of accused persons not presenting themselves, advocates presenting themselves but not having full instructions, etc., etc. I would request, in light of these circumstances, that you also suspend your timetable until the continued plea taking on the day you will decide, when things will firm up and we'll be able to set a time schedule. Your Honor had indicated your inclination towards fixing a timetable for case management, and you had indicated 21 days, and within those 21 days, certain things were to happen at different deadlines. Because of the fluidity of the situation, and because we are fixing another date for plea taking for those who have not taken their pleas, and because we are not sure who will attend and who will not attend the second plea taking, my request is that Your Honor suspend any timetable until that second plea taking, which is either Friday or any day that Your Honor will decide. Depending on the circumstances, then the timetable can be set. I have, before addressing you on this issue, consulted with my learned friends from the defense, and they are in agreement. At least I consulted those nearest to me. Thank you, Your Honor.
So you are saying for those who will not appear, we don't do anything till they appear.
What I'm saying, that the timetable, whether it's that we must produce documents within a certain time and that the case management date should be on a certain time, we should not fix those dates now. We should consider and fix those dates when we come back before you for the second round of plea taking. Yes, just one final request, Your Honor, to my learned friends and to the representatives of the accused persons, for those who are not representing themselves, is that we require to receive their full addresses plus email addresses so that the flow of information to them can be that much easier.
Just now. That's okay.
And just as they were represented by my learned friend Mr. Kilokumi and Senator Murkomen, if they can also channel those addresses through them to us, it will make it so much easier to give them all the documents they require. Thank you, Your Honor. Yes. Correct. That is very correct, Your Honor.
Yeah? Yes?
indicate that the accused persons were here today and have taken the plea. You know that here, the second or the next time the plea will be taking place for the accused persons. I haven't seen the guy suggest that the elections and regarding the time to when the second plea. Most of us will not be here on that day. We take us directions. Time to that is bind all of us. The grant suggests that we have a major days. We should be way beyond the second. All of us
Your Honor, my understanding is that leave not to attend the second plea is for those who wish to excuse themselves. But if you believe that something important may happen here, you are advised to attend. You should attend. But for those who feel that they don't need to attend or are represented, that is their decision.
Let's take a vow of mention. Let's take a vow of mention. Let's take a mention 30 days away so that everybody knows when we are coming back. So we do the plea. We take a mention. That's what I'm saying.
But the majority view seems to be that after that plea, we can then take a mention date in which any other housekeeping issues may be ironed out. But I can't advise